Hello everyone, Suparna. Welcome back to my channel Suparna's Speech Therapy Clinic. In my last video, I had discussed on the topic Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. Today, I am deviating a little from the topic because October 22nd, that is 2 days before, it was observed as Stuttering Awareness Day. So, today I thought I will give an awareness on stuttering. So, basically stuttering or stammering, it is a fluency disorder. So, fluency is considered as one of the components of speech. So, one of the fluency disorders is stuttering. There are many other disorders which comes under fluency disorders. So, one of the fluency disorders is stuttering or stammering. So, stuttering is basically a heterogeneous condition, that is like what do you say the features or the the behaviors exhibited by patients will be different from one another, like it varies across patients. So, it's basically a heterogeneous condition, and the exact cause or the exact etiology of stuttering is still unknown. There are various theories that have been put forward which explains the cause of stuttering, but the exact cause is still unknown. One of the important or one of the main theory states that stuttering has a genetic basis, that is basically a hereditary factor is an underlying cause of stuttering. There are many other causes which describe stuttering, but one of the important causes is a genetic, which explains a genetic basis. So, when you take into consideration the components of stuttering or the behaviors exhibited by patients with stuttering, it can be considered under three headings. First one is core behaviors, that is the behaviors exhibited by the patients, and second one is the secondary behaviors, and third one is the feelings and attitudes. So, basically the first one is core behaviors, that is basically the features or the behaviors exhibited by the patient. It can be like repetitions, like the word might be like the initial syllable of the word might be repeated, or part of the word might be repeated. Like if for an example, if the patient is planning, or if the patient is going to say a word like sunlight, he might say it as sunlight. That is basically a repetition, or he might repeat like the part of that word sunlight. So, that is part word repetition. So, that is one of the core behaviors, and another one of the most commonly seen core behaviors. Another one is prolongation, that is the initial syllable of the word gets prolonged, there is a increase in the duration of the first syllable is prolonged by the particular person. So, for that example we can say, for elephant he might say elephant. So, that is basically a prolongation, or elephant. The first syllable or the part of the syllable might get prolonged, and they can have blocks in that. That is basically interruptions in the speech get blocked, and they may find it difficult to end the conversation or complete the conversation. So, those are some of the core behaviors. Like then next comes the secondary behaviors. So, those are basically coping mechanisms or the coping behaviors exhibited by the patient. Initially, they might exhibit these behaviors just to cope up with this particular problem, just to adjust with the particular problem, and gradually it becomes like a habitual habit of that particular person. So, those can be like not giving a particular eye blinking, or avoiding eye contact. It can be like a difference in rate of speech, or like leg shaking, facial grimaces, nose flaring. So, these are the different kinds of secondary behaviors or the coping mechanisms exhibited by stutterers. And next is feelings and attitudes. They will be like less motivated, and they will have lack of confidence. They will have a guilty feeling, that is that they are not able to help themselves, and they will feel like they will stutter. They anticipate stuttering, and that might result in further stuttering. So, these are the feelings and attitudes, some of the feelings and attitudes that you can find in stutterers. So, when a person comes with stuttering, we need to analyze the core behaviors, we need to analyze the secondary behaviors, and also the feelings and attitudes. So, when we treat the patient with stuttering, it's just not we are giving treatment for the stuttering aspects or the core behaviors. We are giving treatment for secondary components or the secondary behaviors, and also we have to change their feelings and attitudes. Obviously, once the stuttering or the stuttering the blocks or the repetitions or prolongations gets better, these the secondary behaviors might fade off, and the feelings and attitudes will definitely improve. So we might have to address the feelings and attitudes. We will have to address the feelings and attitudes and secondary behaviors along with the treatment of the core behaviors or the behaviors exhibited by stutterers. So this is a brief intro on, or a brief awareness on what stuttering is. If you want to know anything more on the particular topic, please mention in the comment box. If you have anything to be discussed, I am providing my email address in the link in the comment box, and if anything is anything to be discussed personally, it can be through email or in my Facebook page, Suparna Speech Therapy Clinic. Thank you. So please like, share and subscribe my channel, Suparna Speech Therapy Clinic. Thank you.